Hey guys, what is going on? This is Cardinal5, and today was another roster update. They also released some new missions, some new flashbacks, some new packs, so I'm going to try to go over all of those in this video. And the first thing I want to start out with is if you guys go to your ticket counter, apparently they're starting to release new Impact veterans. So I know specifically there's this White Sox Tom Seaver, this Brad Ziegler. It might not actually be a bad pitcher. We look at his attributes real quick here. So they're actually adding some really cool cards to this ticket counter. Actually doesn't look like that great of a card, but regardless, they also added this diamond 94 overall Victor Martinez, and I really think you can make the argument that this card's better than Posada. I mean, it probably is better than Posada. The hitting is crazy on this card, especially against lefties, but even against righties, I would probably argue he's slightly better than Posada. He even has a little bit more speed than the Team Epic Posada. So this one's going to cost you 2,650 tickets. That's not very many tickets, really, in my opinion. So yeah, some definitely good cards. So check, make sure you guys are checking this ticket counter, because a lot of these Impact veterans, especially you might need them for the upcoming programs, and I'm sure some of you guys are still trying to get some of the breakouts. Now I want to move on to some other new flashbacks and talk about how you get them. Alright, so one of the first cards I want to talk about is this Bronze Rookie Legend Wade Boggs that you can pull in the new Ballin' is a Habit pack, which is 15,000 stubs. But supposedly these stubs are supposed to be good. We're not going to open any here, but I'll show you guys this, Wade Boggs attributes. Actually, very solid attributes for a bronze. That contact and vision is a little ridiculous, honestly. But anyways, this card is actually going to lead you to some other things. Now, if you get this card, it's going to lead you to a player epic. So if you get this Wade Boggs, you're pulling the pack or get on the market, it's going to lead you to a player epic breakout Wade Boggs. So there's going to be 3 tiers to get this breakout. I don't know if anyone's collected this card yet. We can go ahead and check right now to see. Alright, so we're at the Red Sox. I don't see anything for this card yet, but this card is going to be a 98 overall. I imagine it's going to be very good. Like, contact's going to be maxed out, probably better fielding, and he's going to have a little bit more pop. I would guess in the 60s and 70s. I'm sure the card is out there somewhere, but yeah, anyways, it looks like a pretty good card. Let's go ahead and move on. Another new card I want to talk about is the Legend 96 overall Yogi Bear. This is from 1951 year, and apparently you have to collect this by collecting the camo equipment items for, I guess, the Memorial Day packs. And these are his attributes, and these are very weird splits. Fielding and all that's pretty solid. But he bats left-handed and he hits the lefties better. I didn't really realize he hit lefties better. I remember the old Legend in 2015, or the last 2 years really, he hit righties better. So this must have been a really strange year for him. Not a bad card, but I would probably rather have the Posada or the Victor Martinez. And I'm sure there's going to be like a Carlos Santana as well. There's a lot of good good hitting catcher cards, and I'm sure the Mauer will probably end up being the best. But yeah, anyways, you just have to collect all 6 camo equipment items. So we'll go ahead and move on and talk about some other new cards and then the roster update. Alright, so I don't see them in the inventory, but there are 3 other cards you can get, and these are going to be daily missions that lead to player epics. So you just have to keep re-rolling your daily missions, and 3 of them are going to be, looks like a 94 overall Luis Gonzalez, an 87 overall Jason Mott, which we had last year. I think that Luis Gonzalez might be the one we had last year as well. And then there's going to be an 83 overall silver breakout Drew Stubbs for the Reds. And then we also have something else too. Now, I'm sure you guys are already familiar with the Pepe Alazar, and I'm sure you guys aren't the biggest fans of the card. So I know SDS is now giving you an option once you complete that Joe Random mission, of course, which you get by doing 100% in the Dynasty program. You can choose between 2 other cards now. One of them is going to be this 99 Pujols, 2009 year. Look at his attributes. Pretty filthy. I don't know if that's about on par from last year. I think his fielding was a little bit better, but that card is really sick. I would love to have that card. So I might choose that card over the Pepe, but I mean, obviously the Pepe is still better. And then your other option is going to be for the Braves. It's going to be switch hitting third baseman Chipper Jones, which I know a lot of people are going to be big fans of, because I know a lot of people are just big fans of Chipper Jones. I don't see him in here. Yeah, I don't see him in here, so I guess no one has discovered the card yet, but I'm sure his stats are going to be sick. Especially as a switch hitter. Now finally, let's go ahead and get into this roster up. Alright, so starting at starting pitchers, we have Jose Barrios, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, from the Twins. Emilio Pagan. This Barrios, I don't really know much about him. I know Twins are doing pretty well. So sorry if I don't know too much about him. We'll move down the list here. Looks like he got a position change. Dan Straley from the Marlins got a +4. He's having a solid start to his season. Craig Stammen went up +4. Looks like they just converted him from reliever to starter. Let's see if we have any other noticeable updates on here. There's actually 6 pages for starting pitchers. Let's see if we have any ones that might have an effect on Diamond Dynasty or some pitchers that you guys might actually use. Brandon McCarthy +3. Looks like he just went from reliever to starter. Alright, finally. Okay, Archie Bradley +3. Sanchez. Okay, Michael Fulmer +3. I would say this is a noticeable change. I think this actually makes him better than his hardware card as far as the per nines goes. So he's got respectable per nines now. Off to a pretty solid start, really, in his career. So this might not be a bad card to invest in. So I mean, he's on the verge of becoming a gold. Marco Estrada, a few different changes here. Got a +2 overall. Still a silver though. All right. And then Ryu went from a silver down to a bronze. Not off to a great start in his career. Let's see here. Alex Cobb is on the verge of dropping from a silver to a bronze. Phil Hughes, still a bronze. And Jordan Zimmerman dropped 8 points. So, yeah, those were the big noticeable changes for starting pitchers. We'll move on to relievers and closers. The biggest one for relievers, and probably closers, Carl Edwards Jr. got an upgrade to his K per 9 and his walks per 9. Home runs 9 went down a little bit, but this is going to be another solid silver pitcher. And I recommended him for bronze budget beast. He's still a beast as a silver. Still really shouldn't cost much. Adam Warren +3. Tyler Clippard +2. Michael Feliz +9. Guys, look out for the Astros bullpen. Everybody in that bullpen is just having a fantastic year, and I don't see Davinsky on here, so I'm not sure where he's at. We'll see if we have any other noticeable changes. Alright, Jacob Turner -2. I mean, these guys aren't. Brian Mitchell -3. Brooks Pounders. Hector Rondon -3. He lost a lot to his walks per 9, home runs per 9, but the ones that actually matter actually went up. So I wouldn't say he really. I mean, I'd say he's arguably better now. Just lost a little bit of control. But obviously in real life, he's already given up 3 home runs. Adam Morgan, Chris Young, Pedro Strop. He lost a little bit to all of his per 9, so I mean, he did drop a little bit. I mean, he's doing okay, not off to the greatest start, so they just gave him some small changes. Justin Grimm, he was a silver and dropped all the way to a bronze. It's going to do it for relievers. They picked on some Cubs relievers, believe it or not. 3 Cubs relievers in there. And then for closers, it looks like only 2 got downgraded. AJ Ramos, who we all know had some amazing per 9s, and when he's playing up had maxed out per 9s, and Sean Kelly. Still a pretty solid pitcher, just lost hits per 9 a little bit, walks per 9, home runs per 9. But he's honestly not off to a good start at all. I mean, he's still striking out people, but a lot of walks. And he's already given up 6 home runs, which is pretty awful for 12 innings. So we're going to move on to position players. Catcher. And looks like for catcher, no noticeable changes. Josh Bell. This is one of my favorite common players of draft and BR because he's a switch hitter. But you can now see versus righties, he's actually pretty decent. 68-68. Did lose some contact to lefties. Did get a power boost to lefties. And got a vision boost. So overall, I mean, this is definitely going to be another solid card to get. Kind of disappointed because he was one of my favorite commons to draft in BR. Logan Morrison +4. Got +12 to power versus righties. And he lost 21 to vision, 15 to discipline. So interesting upgrade there. So probably one of the biggest upgrades is this Paul Goldschmidt, +4 contact versus righties. Lost a little bit of contact versus lefties and power versus lefties. So he's actually hitting righties a little bit better this year, apparently. So he got a +2 overall. Still a solid diamond, though. Justin Bohr went up +2. So he lost contact to righties a little bit, but versus lefties went up. Everything else, besides vision, went up. So nothing too crazy, but he does jump from a bronze to a silver. And Tommy Joseph goes up +2, loses contact versus lefties. Contact versus righties and power versus lefties went up, though. Noticeable downgrades for first baseman. Again, these are some of the bigger ones. Miguel Cabrera -2. And this one's real interesting. I think Miguel Cabrera will stay diamond. I know he kind of got hurt. But Tigers fans, you guys may know a little bit more than me. But when I looked up his stats, I saw that he had a very good line drive percentage, and he's actually had a very good hard hit ball percentage. So I mean, he's hitting 283 now, So I think he'll be okay. I mean, he was struggling there for a while, but you guys can see they took 4 away from his contact versus righties and 5 away from power versus lefties. I mean, he's getting a little older, so I think he'll lose a little bit more power, but I think for average, I think he'll be okay, and I still think he'll be able to get on base. Ian Desmond lost a lot of power in general and vision. Surprisingly, not doing the greatest in cores, I guess. I mean, he's doing okay, but for cores, you expect him to be doing a little bit better. But I don't know. He played at Texas last year, which is also a hitter's park. This guy's been moving all over the diamond, though. Went from shortstop to center field, now to first base. But he lost -5. And I've heard that this Desmond might switch positions again. So keep an eye out for that as well. Second base, Odor went down 2. Not off to a good start at all. Let's go and move on to third base. Justin Turner got a +1. He lost a little bit of power, but his contact went up. That's basically what happened. Vision went up a little bit too. And he's still hitting well. He's more of a contact guy this year. Shortstop, Didi Gregorius, +2. His hitting versus lefties is really good. +11 to contact versus lefties. Got a +10 power versus lefties boost. Another noticeable change that's probably going to affect a lot of players' teams. And honestly, I'm thinking about trying this card. Francesca Lindor lost a little contact versus righties, but he got +15 overall to power, including +11 to power versus righties. So when he's playing up and he's got that power, that sneaky power in the 60s, maybe low 70s, this is going to be a solid switch hitting option at shortstop. And eventually he might overtake Seager, but I'm still slightly giving the advantage to Seager as far as them two because they're so closely rated. So I like to compare them to. Trey Turner lost -2, hitting .240 for the year, so I think that was fair. But still has a speed, obviously, and his defense still isn't bad. Left field, this was expected. Michael Conforto, +3 overall. He still might be on the rise. 14 home runs already, so he now has 84 power versus righties. His contact and power went up versus lefties a little bit as well. Vision went down a little bit, but he's really off to a great year. Corey Dickerson, also as expected, +2 overall. These guys are both still silver. And Matt Kemp on the verge of becoming gold as well, so definitely pay attention to these 3 guys. Matt Kemp got a boost to his contact versus lefties, power versus righties, and power versus lefties. Center field, nothing too crazy. Odubel Herrera is still a silver. See his contact's down for the year, his average is down, so he lost some hitting, but his power versus lefties went up a little bit. Everything else went down though, so if you guys have him, you might want to sell him, even though he's only silver, so it's not a big deal. And then finally, right fielders, nothing too crazy. Garcia for the White Sox went up to a silver. Aaron Judge got a small boost. I mean, he has 16 home runs for the year. He now has 90 power versus righties. Jose Bautista starting to rebound a little bit. Got a +3 in power versus righties, and a +1 to power versus lefties, and a +11 to contact versus righties. I'm surprised they upgraded him that quick though. I mean, he's still only hitting 225. JD Martinez, probably the second noticeable change, I guess, behind either Lindor or Goldschmidt. Now he does make the transition to gold. I know a lot of people were using him on their budget team. He got +2 to contact versus righties, +4 to power versus righties, +3 to vision. The +15 to this one don't really mean as much, but he's now a gold. And that's pretty much going to round it off for the roster update and all the new cards added. So, I mean, again, it's cool they're adding a lot of new live content. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys opened any of the new packs. And again, guys, I'm also asking, give me some ideas for some potential upgrades and downgrades you guys think may happen within the next few weeks. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. This is CardinalBird5 signing out. Peace.